I consider myself a relatively open-minded person. However, with a background in space studies and physics, I tend to lean toward rational and scientific thinking. I've never experienced anything paranormal myself, so I never really saw any merit in such things. But something weird is happening in my house. I live alone in a 2-bedroom apartment with a large dog and a cat. About 2 weeks ago, I was sitting on my couch watching TV when, out of nowhere, I got this really sick feeling in my stomach, like dread or fear. It felt as if I was being watched, or like I wasn't alone. I chalked it up to paranoia and went upstairs to sleep. But when I woke up, I had the same feeling. I went to work, and as soon as I got into my car, the feeling disappeared. Everything was normal, and I had a great day. But the moment I stepped back into my house, the same heavy pit in my stomach returned. And now, every single time I enter my home, I feel it. But there's more. I lock my doors religiously. Yet every morning I wake up to find my front door unlocked. It keeps happening. I even filmed myself locking the door to make sure I wasn't losing my mind. But when I woke up, the door was unlocked again. This week, my dog and cat have stopped playing. My dog won't even wag her tail. She just lies in a corner all day. But at night, she goes down to the kitchen by the front door and barks relentlessly. When I get up to check, she returns to a random corner. Last night was my breaking point. I went to sleep wearing my usual sweats, but when I woke up, I wasn't wearing them. I found them folded in my drawer. Tonight, I'm wearing the same pants again, hoping I wake up in them. I don't know what's happening. It's to the point where I'm actually posting on Reddit for advice. I don't know if this is environmental, paranormal, or if I'm just losing it. I've never experienced anything like this before. If you have, please help. For context, I take no medication and have 2 carbon monoxide detectors installed, per my landlord's requirements. Update. I woke up again to my dog barking. My door was unlocked, and there was water on my floor. The same sick feeling persists. Today, I'm setting up cameras and will update everyone. I appreciate those helping me make sense of this. I spoke to the bar owners across the street. They have a security camera pointed directly at my front door. I explained what's been happening, but they said they didn't have time to check the footage. I called the police and explained that my door is mysteriously unlocking every night. I told them about the camera at the bar. They went to check the footage but said it didn't show anyone entering or exiting my house. Then they left. I reviewed footage of myself sleeping last night since some people suggested sleepwalking. I caught some disturbing shit. I posted it in the comments. Something unsettling is happening. I'm following all of your advice. I left home and am staying at a friend's house for the night. I'll update you all tomorrow. Update. Sorry for the delay. It's been a rough day and night. I came home from my friend's place, and everything in my kitchen and living room was knocked over. My couch was tipped over. My coffee table was pushed against the wall. Shelves had been thrown, and items were scattered everywhere. My dresser drawers were emptied and tossed around my room. And of course, my door was unlocked. The feeling is back, stronger than ever. And of course, I walked inside. I'm staying here for the night. It feels worse now than it ever has. I'm leaving my front door unlocked tonight. At least that's one thing that won't shock me when I wake up. I haven't touched anything. Everything remains exactly where it was thrown. I'm done dealing with this. The sense of doom and fear is overwhelming. Reddit is the only place where people are actually listening to me. Thank you. I'll update you tomorrow. Update. Last night, I left my door unlocked because... what's the point? Well, I woke up around 2:30 a.m. to my dog barking. The door was locked. My kitchen sink was running. I called my mother, whom I haven't spoken to in a long time. She is a Wiccan. She told me I need to cleanse the home, whatever that means. She's arriving today. I'll update you all once she's here. Update. Had someone over today to cleanse the apartment. She used sage, opened all my windows, and put lines of salt around the house and doorways. I'm not gonna lie. It seemed really silly. I don't know. I mean, I can't explain what's happening, but at this point, I'm open to anything. I don't feel good. The fear isn't even sharp anymore. It's just a numbing wave. Any joy I had a month ago is gone. It's like, what's the point? Either I'm going crazy or something dark is happening. Either way, it's going to play out however it plays out. Nothing feels different after the cleanse, but I can't shake the feeling that if I'm not crazy, then something wants to hurt me. If it's not myself. Update. Woke up around 2:30 a.m. Felt like I was being choked. Like something was sitting on my chest. At the same time, I heard thumping on the stairs. I couldn't get up. I thought maybe it was sleep paralysis, but my arms and legs could move. I just couldn't get up. When I finally could, I put my animals in my car. The door was unlocked. Again. I called my friend, the one I stayed with a few days ago, and asked if I could come over again. But guess what? He said I never stayed with him. I called him a couple of days ago and asked, but apparently I never showed up. I'm seeing a doctor today. Either whatever is happening is messing with me mentally, or everything I thought happened was in my head. But the pictures? The door? I don't fucking know. Update. Given recent events, I think it's important to follow every rational possibility first. After speaking with a professional, I've decided to voluntarily check myself into a mental health evaluation center. I know a lot of people think it's ghosts, a haunting, or an intruder. But considering the fact that my friend says I never even went to his place, when I was sure that I did, I need to make sure I'm not experiencing some kind of delusion. What if I'm unlocking the door myself, throwing my own furniture around, hearing things that aren't there? Maybe my stress is affecting my pets. That being said, I feel so much better being away from my home, so I don't think I'm crazy. If it really is a mental health issue, it will be addressed, and I'll still be experiencing these things while I'm gone. If I'm cleared, then there's something dark in my home. I've received a lot of messages from you guys, and I'll reply when I can, but I'll be away for a couple of days. Update. Spent almost 2 days in a mental health center, voluntarily. I was evaluated, monitored, and talked to. While I was away, I had no issues. No bad feelings, no weird occurrences. They released me and advised me to follow up with a therapist. I explained my situation, sort of, and she suggested that someone might be entering my home. But whatever is happening doesn't seem to be tied to my mental health. I had a friend stay at my place last night to watch my animals. He left in the middle of the night. He said he had the worst feeling and kept hearing weird fucking noises in the living room. I came home. The feeling is back. Furniture is everywhere again. My dog was hiding under my bed. I feel better knowing I'm not delusional, especially after realizing that I never even stayed with my friend, even though I was sure I had. But now I'm even more unsure. Sitting here, I'm realizing I didn't solve my problem. I'm still here, alone, feeling dread. The noises are increasing. Usually my dog reacts to sounds, but she hasn't moved from the corner upstairs. I had to bring her food to her. There's also the weirdest smell in my home. Almost rotten? Maybe my dog got into something. Maybe my friend cooked something. He hasn't texted me back, but it's strong, really noticeable. I left the furniture thrown around. Again. What's the fucking point? I'm thinking about setting up another iPhone recording tonight, but I'm honestly terrified of what I might see. Checked my heaters. Everything is working, set to 75, but my room. The only place that feels remotely safe is freezing. My dog is curled up with me, just staring at the stairs. The banging continues. The door is still locked, but the downstairs closet keeps opening. Maybe it's a bad hinge or lock. I don't feel good. The smell is making me angry. I feel physically sick. This Reddit post is the only thing keeping me grounded. I feel like I could honestly just cry or give up. I don't feel normal. I haven't felt normal in the last month. The constant fear makes me feel lost. Or at least, I don't know. I just want you all to know I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone who's tried to help. But I don't know how much longer I can take this. Update. Woke up around 2 or 3 a.m., cold. The same feeling. We heard thumping on the stairs, but nothing was holding me down this time. Lights were off. TV was off. Even though I always leave them on now. I got up to turn them back on, and I was dragged from my bed. In an instant, I hit my head on the post, scratches down the side of my ribs. I spent the rest of the night sleeping in my car. Today, I'm calling the same person who did the cleanse a few days ago. I need to know if there's anything else I can do. I got home. Everything is thrown around. Again. My dog is hiding under my bed. Again. The door was unlocked. There's water all over my kitchen floor. The smell from yesterday is worse. Like something is rotting. I'm fucking tired of this. I found a possible place to move. I'll update tonight with any new events. At this point, shit happens every night. And now I'm being physically messed with. Getting dragged out of bed last night makes me want to just not fucking be here. The fear is worse. My drive home from work is filled with dread. I think about sleeping in my work's parking lot. But I can't. Not with my pets. Hotels are too expensive. I barely scrape by as it is. Every night I stay here, I feel like it could be my last. Okay. I'm getting real cameras. I got up from bed, went to the bathroom. After washing my hands, I was pushed into the mirror. It shattered. Immediately after, I heard loud thumping down the stairs. I'm honestly in disbelief right now. It happened. But I feel numb. I tried reviewing some old social media videos I made a few days ago for my space channel. Caught the weirdest noise. Does anyone know how I can upload the audio? I'd really like your opinions. Update. For those telling me I need to leave, I know. I found a place, but it's going to take me a while to get the money together. No, I'm not going to a shelter. I hear you. I know you want me to set up cameras everywhere and post videos, but no offense. I know what I'm going through. I've already posted things I've caught. I'm not going to waste money just to prove something to strangers. This isn't for entertainment. But some people keep asking, why are you avoiding it? I'm not. I packed up my animals after work and spent almost all day at a state park, just sitting in my car with the heat blasting because I have a cat. My landlord just called me. The neighbors complained about constant banging on their wall today. I told him I haven't been home since early this morning. Apparently, the neighbor said it was like hammering against their wall all day. My apartment is the only one connected to theirs. The landlord said it might be plumbing and that he'd send someone to check. But I know what it fucking is. My heart is pounding. Well, I found a place not far from my job. I'm trying to move in ASAP. Since I'm violating my lease, I'll lose my security deposit. I can cover about half of the move-in costs. Some people here suggested I set up a GoFundMe, so I did. No one is expected to donate, but if anyone wants to help, I'd appreciate it. Either way, I appreciate the support, whether it's advice or just listening to this nightmare. I got home. My house is a mess. There are 2 hand-sized holes in my wall, the one that connects to the neighbors. I guess that's what they were hearing. Water all over the floor. Couch flipped over. My dog was happy earlier, but the second we got back, her ears and tail went down, and she ran straight to the corner. I highly doubt I'll sleep tonight. Every time I do, something happens. And now it's getting physical. The banging stopped as soon as I got home. Now it's just the sound of something walking up the stairs. Or at least, the creaking of them. The closet door keeps opening. I'm going to try to get it on film. Honestly, documenting makes me feel like I'm doing something, but I don't know. I haven't been touched yet. I'm avoiding sleep. I'm fighting it. I finally fell asleep despite the noises. I woke up again feeling like I was being held down. I could turn my neck, move my arms and legs, but I couldn't get up. I could barely breathe. Then I heard my front door open, and at the same time, banging in the kitchen. I don't know how long it lasted, but no more than 5 minutes. When I finally broke free, I ran downstairs. The door was wide open. My dog bolted outside. It took me an hour to find her. She was just hiding behind the dumpster in the parking lot. When I finally got back to the apartment, the door was locked. I had to climb through my window. All of my sinks were running. The TV was on the floor, broken. I went to my bathroom and saw scratches on my neck and face. That was it. I packed up my animals and spent the night in my running car. I can't wait to leave this fucking nightmare. Update. My mental state is shifting. The doom is still there, but now there's this overwhelming sadness and weird thoughts. Almost like memories, but they aren't mine. Like guilt for things I haven't even done. I don't know. I feel confused, like I'm not myself. I'm going to lie down, wearing headphones so I can't hear any noises. I woke up to the worst banging on my door, looked through the blinds. The door was unlocked, but no one was outside. I have motion sensor lights on my porch, so I think the banging was coming from inside the door. It's been happening about every 10 minutes since. That was around 2 a.m. My phone has been dying constantly. Same with my Switch. I have to keep them plugged in to use them. Since my TV is broken, they're all I have. I asked a friend to stay with me for a few nights to film and to make sure things were okay. He refused. Ever since watching my pets that one night, he won't come back here. Update. After a few nights away, I finally returned home. Everything was a mess. Water covering the floor. I called my landlord, explained everything. He said, "It's an old apartment. Things don't work. We can check some stuff out." Completely useless. I decided to take a shower before cleaning up. While I was in there, I heard something running up the stairs toward my bathroom. Then my bathroom door slammed open. Through the steam, I saw something. A figure. Or, I don't know. I put my head down, trying to breathe, trying to process what was happening. My dog started growling, then screaming. I looked out, and she was backed into the corner, her head pinned to the ground, like something was holding her down. I jumped out of the shower and grabbed her. She got up and cowered behind me. I couldn't see anything. I caught my breath, started getting dressed, and went to walk out. That's when it grabbed my neck. Something grabbed my fucking neck, pulled me forward, then went straight down the stairs. I broke 2 fingers in the fall. At the hospital, I convinced the new landlord to let me move in immediately. I explained it was an emergency. I packed my shit in 10 minutes and left. Then my old landlord called. The police had shown up at my apartment. The neighbors called 911, saying they heard someone being attacked. The landlord let them in, but they found nothing. The officers told him they were so creeped out by the place that something felt wrong. But I don't care anymore. I'm gone. I'm safe. My dog, my cat, and I already feel better. Fuck that place. As requested, I'll share more of my personal ghosty experiences with the paranormal. This first story happened just yesterday. My best friend asked me to feed her cats while she and her family were away for the week. Their house has always given me an eerie feeling, and I've seen and heard strange things there before. Last night was my first time going over to feed the cats. Everything seemed normal. I scooped the food, fed the outside cats, and went back inside. I've always felt welcome in their home and have permission to eat or drink whatever I want, so I decided to grab a flavored milk from the pantry. To get there, I had to pass the staircase leading upstairs. As I walked by, I heard distinct footsteps moving from the stairs into their 8-year-old's bedroom. No one was home. The moment I heard it, I bolted. I hate being in that house alone as it is, but that completely tipped me over the edge. Now, I'm dreading going back again tonight. For some context, my best friend Lily has always been able to see things. She physically feels and sees spirits. Most of them aren't harmful, just lingering with their families. I was skeptical at first, but after everything I've experienced, I'm convinced she's telling the truth. She can sometimes communicate with them and even touch them, though I have no idea what that must be like. Back in May, we had prom at our school. After the dance, my 2 friends and I went back to Lily's house to hang out, eat snacks, get high, and have a sleepover. We hung out in the playroom, which is basically a giant room filled with an overload of toys. It connects to both a bathroom and an extra bedroom. We all took a gummy and started sharing creepy stories. I don't see spirits, but I can sometimes sense something is there. I'm not claiming I have any real connection to the paranormal, but I've definitely felt odd energy in certain places. That night, it happened again. Lily was braiding my hair, and I could tell from her body language that she was uneasy. I felt it too, especially near the entrance to the room. It was as if someone was just standing there, silently watching us. I noticed Lily kept glancing at the doorway, trying to focus on something. I never felt unsafe, just uncomfortable. The next morning, I asked her about it. She told me that a man had been standing in the doorway for most of the night. He wasn't a bad spirit. He just wanted to listen to our stories. I recently moved into my current room, which is upstairs and at the end of a hallway connecting my younger sister's room and the main bathroom. During my first week sleeping there, I heard strange noises outside my window. We have a swing set about 150 feet from the house, and it sounded like someone was shooting a BB gun directly at my wall. Naturally, I assumed it was my brother messing around, but when I asked him the next day, he swore he hadn't been outside at all. Especially not past midnight. I brushed it off. A few nights later, I was struggling to sleep when I heard something. It sounded like a stick dragging along my bedroom wall, moving from one end of my room to the other, stopping right where the bathroom begins. Terrified, I jumped out of bed and ran to my sister's room. She heard it too. But whatever it was had stopped just before reaching her door. that wasn't the last time I felt something in my room. I often wake up in the middle of the night with the unsettling feeling that someone is watching me. It's always from the same corner. On those nights, the darkness in that corner feels heavier, almost like something is standing there, making it harder to see. When Lily stayed over one night, I asked her if she could sense anything in my house. Without hesitation, she said, "The corner, the one your bed faces." Instant chills. That corner had been bothering me for months, and she pointed it out without me telling her anything. A year ago, I bought a stand-up mirror and placed it in that corner. Ever since, I haven't felt anything unsettling in that spot. Maybe it helped. Maybe it didn't. Either way, I sleep better now. My grandparents live in a log house they built before my dad was born, about 50 years ago. The house is fairly new, but because it's made of logs, it creaks constantly, and the wind howls through it at night. They also have a fish tank. And for some reason, it is the loudest fish tank I have ever heard in my life. At night, when everything else is silent, that tank practically roars. One night, I was trying to sleep on the floor of their bedroom. The fish tank was making its usual racket when suddenly, I heard a noise from the kitchen. And then, total silence. No fish tank, no creaking, no wind, nothing. I have no idea what caused it, but I cried myself to sleep that night. It still creeps me out to this day. On another night, my sisters and I were sleeping in the kids' room, which is across the hall from my grandparents' bedroom. It's Mickey Mouse themed, with a bed on top and another that slides out underneath. My older sister was on the top bunk, and just to mess with me, she said, "If you hear 4 taps from outside, it means a ghost is trying to get you." I tried to brush it off, but that entire night, I swear I kept hearing tapping. Always in sets of 4. Could it have been my imagination? Sure, but I still don't like thinking about it. I have plenty more stories, but I don't want to make my posts too long. If you'd like to hear more, let me know. The more I write, the more I remember, and I'm digging up a lot of experiences I had completely forgotten about. I hope you enjoyed this, or at least found it interesting. When I was around 16, I woke up one night to go to the bathroom. The bathroom door was across the hall from my bedroom, with the main bedroom at the end of the hall. Half asleep, I got out of bed, thinking only about using the bathroom and going back to sleep. But the moment I stepped into the hallway, I was overcome with a sense of dread, like something was rushing up behind me. It wasn't the first time I'd felt that in the hallway. I have experienced it many times over the years, sometimes during the day, sometimes at night. There was never any clear reason why, and as soon as I stepped into another room, the feeling would disappear. That night, I did what I always did. I hurried into the bathroom, but when I went to close the door behind me, it wouldn't shut all the way. It stopped about an inch from closing, like something was blocking it. My first thought was that it must be my dad, maybe on his way to the bathroom from the main bedroom. That would explain why I felt someone behind me. I assumed he was playing one of his usual jokes. I couldn't have been more wrong. I opened the door, and standing there was a dark, hooded figure with glowing yellow eyes staring straight at me. Its skin was dark, rough, and had the same texture as a bird's foot. Panicked, I tried to slam the door shut, but it still wouldn't close. I tried again, opening it slightly and slamming it shut several times, until I noticed something wedged near the latch. A finger. It was long, misshapen, scaly, with a sharp black nail. I kept slamming the door as hard as I could until, finally, The finger withdrew. I quickly locked the door. Then the entire door started shaking. For the next 20 to 30 minutes, I heard my mother's voice on the other side. At first it was soft, gently asking me to open the door. Then it turned nasty, saying things my mother would never say. Even the way the voice faded, as if moving off into the distance, made no sense. Finally, the shaking stopped. The voice was gone. I stayed there, frozen, for about 5 more minutes, trying to calm myself. Then I slowly unlocked the door and stepped out. The house felt normal, still. I peeked into my parents' room. They were both sound asleep. I went back to my room and hoped for the best. Nothing else happened that night. Nothing like that ever happened again. I don't know if it was a dream, but it didn't feel like one. Everything was exactly as it was in real life, with none of the strange little inconsistencies you usually notice in dreams. And while I was in the bathroom, I tried to move a heavy wooden cabinet filled with shampoo bottles and other supplies my mom had stocked up on. I couldn't even budge it. The next day, I tried again with the same result. I had never tried to move it before, so why did I feel the need to test it after that night? To this day, I don't know what I saw, but it's an experience I'll never forget.